afternoon, teacher. Today I am going to explain about my 5 discrete testing techniques. The first technique is multiple choice question. The process I follow first is to select the focus of testing. In this case is unit number 9, lesson 1, grammar has to and have to. Okay. Because of the vocabulary is related about health and fitness, I create this item testing. My brother, space in blank, go to the stadium for soccer training classes. And I also create these 3 distractors and 1 correct alternative. And why I chose multiple choice questions? Because it's a good tool in order to check grammar accuracy, and also we force students to distinguish between different verb tense. The problem that I found with this technique is the first is grammar in isolation. We as teachers, we only check grammar in isolation, but we don't know if our students can use this has to and have to in real life context. Also, the guessing factor. Some students can guess the correct answer without knowing why they chose that. So for that reason, the guessing factor is high. Also, it's time consuming. Create this multiple choice question is time consuming, but we have to take into consideration that the distractors shouldn't be too easy or too difficult in order to not demotivate our students in their learning journey. Also, the obtained result first is that we test the correct use of have to and has to, and also we provide 1 correct option and 3 distractors that check understanding about this grammar, and also it's a good discrete testing technique for grammar accuracy. The second technique, fill in the blanks. Second technique, fill in the blanks. The process I follow in this case is first to select the focus of testing. So in this opportunity, unit number 9, lesson 2, grammar should and could. So why I chose this technique is because the students, we avoid the guessing factor like in the previous one, and we push students to create, to write their own answers, and they have to recall previous knowledge, they have to recall previous information in their minds, and also it shows a deeper understanding of the grammar in comparison to the previous one. You have here the correct answers, and also the obtained results we have recognized when to use should for advice and could for giving options. The second is there is only 1 correct choice for each blank, so grading is simple. And number 3 is the test item is short but integrates the unit's communicative theme, fitness and health. Technique number 3, matching elements. Okay, so the process I follow is first to focus select the testing focus. In this case is unit number 9, lesson 4, vocabulary body parts. And the reason I chose matching element is because this is because students not only match, but also they have to classify in the correct category the body parts. I create this word bank with simple words, and also I create this chart with different categories, no? And the students have to recognize and write in the correct position. The problems that I found with this matching elements technique is ambiguity. Maybe students, ambiguity. Maybe students, some words can fit in more than 1 category. For example, for some people, neck is part of the head, and for some people, neck is part of the upper body. So it can create confusion between students. Superficial learning, because we only check vocabulary, but we don't know if the students really understand the words about body parts. And also guessing factor. Some students can, maybe they don't know the definition and they only guess. They only guess and they are right, but they only guess. So this is the problem with guessing factor. And the obtained result first is students practice vocabulary in isolation. So this is not an integrative tool. Students don't apply critical thinking, don't apply communication skills, don't apply problem solving skills. And the last is recognition only, but not use this kind of vocabulary in real life situation. Technique number 4, scramble sentences. Okay, the process I follow first is to select the focus of testing. In this case, lesson 4, vocabulary, accidents and injuries. The reason I chose scramble sentence is because I want the students practice vocabulary in context about accidents and injuries, and also is because I want students apply their common sense and create different sentences in the right order. You have here the correct answer. Also, the problems with the scrambled sentence is first focus shifts. Maybe some students struggle with grammar and they spend more time in grammar rather than focus their attention in vocabulary, as I planned before. Multiple correct versions. Students can create correct sentences but with different order. And cognitive overload. Maybe students, there are a lot of words in one sentence, so maybe students get confused and overwhelmed. And technique number 5, correct, incorrect. Okay, so you have here. And the process I follow first is to select the focus of testing. In this case, lesson number 4, reading skill. The reason I create this item testing, and the reason I chose correct or incorrect is because I want to check if the student understands this article from the book, and also I want to practice with them vocabulary about accidents and injuries. You have here the correct answer. The problem with this technique is number 1, high guessing factor. Students have 50% chance of answer correctly the statements. Limited discrimination and lack of diagnostic information. We don't know if the student really understand the reading because there are only 2 alternatives, true or false, correct or incorrect. So it's only black and white. So we don't know if they really understand this kind of reading. This is one obtain results. We have here, it shows basic comprehension of reading, and it doesn't give detailed evidence about real understanding from students. Okay, thank you very much.